What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's Nerdy Nick, and I'm back with another video. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about something very, very common and something that we can all kind of relate to. So without further ado, let's get to it. Gaming nowadays has no shortage of new releases, along with old games getting remasters and all the mini consoles coming out. It's a pretty common thing. So trying to keep up with each release that comes out is just getting very hard. It can be really difficult, especially upon certain circumstances in your life. So today's video, we're going to highlight some of those circumstances and be something that we can all relate to. So here are my top 3 reasons why it is getting too hard to keep up with modern gaming. Reason number 3 is bills. We all have them, so make no doubt about that. Whether you're living at home with mom and pop and you're just paying like your own phone bill, or you're paying your PlayStation Network or Xbox Live bills, whatever. Or you're like me and you own a home, so you have a mortgage, you have to pay insurance, you know, your car insurance, health insurance, phone, gas, electric, water, and so on and so forth. We all have them, and make no doubt about it, you should be paying your bills on time as soon as you get them, or even paying ahead. If you're a responsible adult, that's the thing to do. New games get released on a bunch of different dates nowadays. It's not like how it was back in the day where a game just gets released on a certain day. But what happens is, since they're so sporadic with the release times and dates, a lot of times, just coincidental or what, I'm done paying a bulk of my bills when a new game gets released, and that really prevents me from buying a $60 AAA launch game. But even sometimes, budget titles can be quite a bit expensive given the financial circumstance at the time. Good thing is though, and the positive news here, is that games get released and get discounted pretty frequently, and as a matter of fact, pretty rapidly. We can see a price drop happen a couple of weeks from launch day to even the same week a game gets launched. So it kind of lessens the gut punch, don't you think? So number 2 is time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? I think we can all agree on that. Even flat earthers, I'm pretty sure, will admit we all have 24 hours in a day. Unless they're also those kind of people that are like, time is a construct made by man! So it all depends on what we do with those 24 hours. So what you might do with yours is different what I do with mine. For instance, for myself, I work full time. So I have a job where I go to work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and on 1 week, every 4 weeks, I'm on call, so I also have to be completely available to my job if an emergency happens at my place of work. Then after work, I go to the gym for 2 hours. So there's 10 hours wrapped up right there, just doing mandatory things. I mean, yeah, sure, you can argue that the gym is optional, and I do that to myself, and you can be absolutely correct in saying so. But for me, being a lifelong athlete, it's mandatory. Then I come home, spend time with my wife and kids for another couple hours. So at that point, I have like 2 hours maybe in my whole day to game, and that's not including my Saturdays and Sundays, well, even Friday nights where I get to film and game. You guys too, I still have to do errands on the weekends as well, like go grocery shopping and try to get my chores done around the house. With all of those things, my backlog of games, it's getting longer and longer. And with time being a shortage, adding new games to my backlog creates just more and more headaches for me, because I don't get to play those games that I'm thinking about all day long. So for instance, say I buy Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. Just came out this week, right? So I buy a brand new game. Now, I'm putting a game that's been on my backlog, like the next game I'm about to play on my backlog, I'm now, because I've got Link's Awakening, putting that game back and putting Link's Awakening at number 1 on my spot for games I'm going to play right now, games that I'm going to get into. So now we're getting this whole leapfrog thing, but in reverse, and it's now creating my backlog to go even further back. So I just don't necessarily have time to do that, and especially if I'm going to be buying multiple games at once. It's a stupid problem, but a problem nonetheless. And finally, at number 1, there's just too many games to keep up with. This month alone, in September of 2019, we've had Gears of War 5 come out, a giant first-party title for the Xbox. Also have had Borderlands 3 come out, which is a giant open-world first-person shooter. Had the Sega Genesis Mini, that's been highly anticipated this entire year, come out, and we got The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. If you purchase all of those games on launch day with just the standard editions, without anything extra, without any season passes or any DLC, you're looking at spending a total of $260 before tax. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not made of money, which kind of ties into this whole too many games to keep up with. And let's also mention that these are just the AAA games and titles and things that are coming out. Just AAA. We're not even getting into all the indie games and titles that get releases almost daily. This makes for a broken wallet and bank account in a hurry. So most people can only buy, at least I'll speak for myself, one AAA title at a time because of the other reasons listed in this video. Now, the problem with buying several new games at release day, or launch day rather, is jumping back and forth between the games. Because they're new, you install this game, let's not even talk about install times. You install this game, install that game, and you've got one game ready to go on your Switch that you bought for, and you're waiting for your PS4 copy of Borderlands 3 to finish downloading. So you're gonna play Link's Awakening for a little while, and when Borderlands 3 is ready to go, you immerse yourself in that game all night, and then the next day you go back to Link's Awakening, and you forgot what you were doing. And that's just a problem because, one, it takes immersion completely out of the scenario, and when you're playing a brand new AAA version of Link's Awakening or Borderlands 3 or Gears of War 5, which is very story heavy based, you want to be immersed in that story and in that world, and you don't want to be distracted. You don't want to hop around back and forth between new games because that ruins the whole experience. Alright, well there you have it, folks. Those are my top 3 reasons why it is too hard to keep up with new games, especially when they come out at launch. If you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so you never miss when I put a new video out on the interwebs or go live for gameplay streaming. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and go ahead in the comments down below, tell me your opinions on the topics that we talked about today, or topic that we talked about today, and let me know how you handle keeping up with modern gaming in today's world and in today's financial world. Thank you so much for watching and making it this far into the video, and as always, take care, and I'll see you next time.